Hello folks, so if y'all have heard the news, Magearna is going to be allowed in OU at the start of the generation. And what does that mean and why is this happening? So basically, for every Pokemon that's in Ubers right now and Pokemon that have been Ubers in the past, they're getting basically voted on by the OU Council. They've already been voted on, but they're just getting announced each day. And yesterday was Magearna. It happened at like 11:45 Eastern time. Finchinator released a statement. He said he's scared of a world with Terra Magearna, which, I mean, if that's his opinion, that's fine. I feel like it's weird to put your opinion here personally, but you know, that's just my personal take. What matters is that it needed a 2/3 vote to start in Ubers, and it didn't get it. So Magearna will start in OU. I also tweeted about this, and I also just want to clear the air with Finchinator. No, because I got ratioed to hell by him. I was not talking about like flaming him for letting Magearna in fucking OU, because my personal opinion is that I don't know how bad that's going to be, but we'll talk more about that. I was just saying, I was bitching about how late he said that news. So anyway, let's go over the Magearna sets, the common Magearna sets. So Sweeper is one probably everyone's concerned about, right? This is the funniest set. It's the most fun to run. Stored Power, Drain Kiss, Calm Mind, Shift Gear. I loved using this thing. I have it at a 184 speed set to always outspeed Dragapult after a Shift Gear, which is a very important threshold. Not because you do take a lot from Shadow Ball still, even with 180 HP investment. So it's a good idea to always outspeed Dragapult. And that also just is good in general. Oh, you also don't take Flamethrower very well, which is a more important thing. Terra type, I actually did not put Terra types on any of these, to be honest. These things could be a multitude of fairy types. Like, for example, Sweeper could be either fairy to further boost Drain Kiss damage, or you could do Flying. I'm guessing Terra Flying is probably going to be the most common option. You could just go full Terra Steel, to be honest, if you really wanted to. For the Goldango matchup, you go Terra Dark for the Goldango matchup. You got options. You got options with these guys. So Sweeper, I think, is a set that should concern people the most, and I want to show you guys some calcs here because there are 3 unaware Pokemon in OU right now, and that being Clodsire, who is weak to Stored Power, and then Don Bozo, who has a low Spadef stat, and oh my god, I cannot think. Skeledirge. Yeah, Skeledurgicus, who usually runs Spadef, so Skeledirge should be able to take care of it. Okay, right? Let's just do the calcs here. So let's say Skeledurgicus is coming in OU bulky attacker, sure, why not? 252 Spadef, 248 HP, right? Stored Power, let's say it is a what? It's a 140 after a Shift Gear and a Calm Mind boost is what you're expecting, right? So that's plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 boosts, so that's 120 base power, I believe. I could be running my math wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I apologize. I've been up all night, guys. So, yeah, even at 1, really? Wait, hold on. There's got to be something wrong with these calcs because that's ridiculous. That a 120 base power Stored Power would still be doing that little. What the hell? I'm so confused. Hold on. What if it says? What if I? Dude, okay, something's going on here. Just one sec. Okay, so apparently I can't manually change the power of these moves, which is completely stupid in my opinion. But the point is, even at +1, even after a Shift Gear and a Calm Mind boost, Stored Power is not, it's like barely a 4-hit KO, assuming that you're running Heavy Duty Boost Dirge. And so you get 2 Calm Minds up. Now we're looking at a 3-hit KO, a pretty good chance, not a great chance at a 3-hit KO, but a chance at a 3-hit KO. So you could easily come in, you know, click Slack off, even if you get crit, you can slack it off. You can Torch Song it pretty easily because Torch Song is going to do as a clean 2-hit KO on the Magearna. So Skeledirge, just a fair warning for the Magearna Sweeper set, Skeledirge will be your best bet. However, there are problems that arise because Magearna's not always going to be Sweeper set. It could be AV. Now AV is another common Magearna set we saw in Gen 7. Assault Vest, Flash Cannon, Fluor Cannon. They didn't always run Flash Cannon. They always ran Fluor Cannon. Usually ran Volt Switch, and then 2 other moves. I put Flash Cannon on here and Shadow Ball, but I think you should always run Flash Cannon personally, and then the Shadow Ball slot can be your flex slot. I put Shadow Ball for hitting Goldango in Skeledirge. You could also put Aura Sphere or Focus Blasto to hit King Gambit. You could put Energy Ball if you want to hit Donbozo. You know, it feels weird to call him Dondozo, but basically this is a pretty consistent set. It can kind of mimic what Toxapex has been doing. It just doesn't have the recovery that Toxapex does, but it does have the splash ability, especially with as good of a typing as Steel Fairy is. Plus, this thing is just really beefy naturally, just like Toxapex, and it has a much higher special attack stat, like much higher. And it's faster too, which is another good benefit. So I think Assault Vest is also going to be a pretty common set. I would expect this thing to do very well. Choice specs, Flash Cam, Fluid Cam, Volt Switch, Trick. Trick is a nice move that Magearna has that you can, if your opponent keeps bringing in walls, you can just trick them, your specs, and then they're done. Volt Switch for pivoting, Fluid Cam, Flash Cam, just your two most powerful stabs. Speed, I put 36 on it to outspeed the infamous King Gambit Speed Crept, Corviknight Speed Crept, Skeletor Speed Crept, because Speed 65 is a pretty common tier. There's Corviknight's at 66, I think, and then Skeletor is 66, Corviknight's at 67, so those are just two speed sets to keep in mind. And we'll see if speed creep actually affects the three of these. I have a feeling it's going to start catching up to these Pokemon sooner than later, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. Basically, choice specs will be a good set. I don't see this being super common. Wall is an interesting set. You get Spikes, Thunder Wave, Volt Switch, Fluid Cannon. Fluid Cannon is just, you know, doing a shit ton of damage. Volt Switch for pivoting, Spikes for hazard control, Thunder Wave. I mean, Yellow Magic, man, it's annoying as hell. Max Fizz Def. You could also do Max Spadef. It just depends on what you want Magearna to wall, to be honest. But this is a good set. I don't see this being super duper common, but you know, I think people could run it. I don't know. I don't see this being one of the more common sets, but yeah, I could definitely see people running it. And then Fizz Def. So Fizz Def is a set that was ran in Generation 8 Ubers. It had Heal Bell though instead of this slot. Heal Bell is only on the Chansey line as of right now, which kind of sucks, but would have been really cool if Magearna could get that, and then we'd have a nice Heal Beller in the tier, but that's okay. So I put Iron Defense here personally because I think the whole point of the Fizz Def, it's working like Corviknight does with its Iron Defense Body Press U-turn set. It's like it's setting up, putting pressure on the opponent, and then but you can still U-turn out and get keep momentum that way, and you have safer switch outs as well. Then I don't think this set's going to be super common, especially I don't know what Iron Defense is. I don't know how common Pain Split will be. Maybe we'll see that on the wall set. Maybe we'll not even see Volt Switch. We could just see Pain Split. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. So overall, though, what are my thoughts on Magearna? I really enjoy using Magearna personally, but if I'm going to set my personal feelings aside for a second, I think this thing's going to run the tier, honestly. This thing's just so strong, man. King Gambit, OU offense. Iron Head's only doing 30 to 35%. Draining Kiss is doing 45 to 53. Now, you have a ton of boosts here, but, like, you know, assuming you have no boost, what if you're running Aura Sphere instead? What if you're running your Aura Sphere set? Yeah, it's a clean one-hit KO. Almost clean one-hit KO. The problem with Magearna isn't that because if it was just a sweeper set that people were worried about, okay, people would just run Corviknight and Skeletor on all their teams, and you know, it'd be a part of the meta. But there's so many damn options with Magearna, and because of Terra, the state it's in right now, setup sweepers are very terrifying because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, actually. Terra types basically buy you an extra turn to set up by switching your typing. They can even buy you an extra 2 turns if you switch to a type that your opponent's current Pokemon cannot hit. I mean, you're looking at a potential 2 turns of setup with Magearna. It's game over. It's just game over. That's it. And say your opponent has a guy, like say they have Toxapex in, right? Toxapex is low. Say it's at 50%. You're going to bring in your Magearna. You can shift your calm mind. Your opponent's like, oh shit, Toxapex is not going to be able to kill this thing. So they switch to someone else. They switch to, oh, I don't know. They switch to, let's just use a really extreme example. Choice Banded Dragonite, all right? That's not going to be a common set, but let's say he brings in Choice Banded Dragonite. He clicks the Earthquake button with that. Guess what? You Terra Flying. Now you've set up for 2 turns. You set up on the turn Toxapex switched out, and you set up on the turn that Dragonite came in, right? And clicked Earthquake. And and you could even have a 3rd turn of setup now because your opponent's choice locked into Earthquake. And 3 turns of setup, it's game over. That's it. I mean, nothing's really withstanding this thing. Skeledirge is pretty much the only thing. So you better sure as hell hope you have a Skeledirge on your team. And even that's going to drain some of your slack off and Torch Song PP. So it's like, you're still not like super coming out on top, you know? I could see Terra Dark becoming an option to resist Magearna, honestly. The thing I do like about Magearna, the one thing I will say that I am excited for in a good way, other than being able to sweep noobs with the sweeper set, which is super fun, by the way, and I'm definitely going to do a movie the second this thing drops, is Fluor Cannon is a nice, powerful fairy stab, and I don't want to cap on the fairies we have in the tier right now, because they're good. I love Hatter. Y'all know I love Hatterene. Iron Valiant's cheap-ass Mon. Azumarill's funny as shit, but, you know, usually this thing's opting for more water-based moves. It'll be cool to have like a Pokemon that can just blow shit up with a fairy type move. And I don't know if that's going to be healthy for the tier or not. Personally, it's probably not. If I get my personal feelings out of it, it's probably not going to. But it'll be fun for the few days that it's in the tier if it is. So final conclusion, I don't think it's going to stay. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to keeping you guys updated with Pokemon. I honestly don't know how I'm going to cover Pokemon that are automatically banned to Ubers. I don't feel like there's much to cover. So if you guys have ideas on that too, please let me know, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do for those. But anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching. See you on the next one. We got a live later today, so make sure you tune into that and follow my Twitter. Thanks. Bye.